Erangel, and we are expecting potentially some spicy drops here at Pachinki. Firstly, that's what we've got to be talking about. Genesis, Force, where's Liquid going? We think they're going maybe to Watertown, Paper.
Yeah, in the scrims, we've seen a little bit of variation. We've seen 3 teams fight over Pachinki, and right now, I see a lot of parachutes heading in that general direction.
Yep, that's where we're going to be keeping our eye on. There's also Rosshawk, Atletico, and QM both dropping there. Atletico's parachutes are, as you can see, just south of it. QM going away from Rosshawk? Are they giving it up?
It looks like maybe Atletico has won that territory for themselves. You can see QM definitely has gone well past it, and it looks like just 2 teams are going for Pachinki. As far as I can tell, Liquid is pulled off.
Yeah, and this is what we are going to want to be watching early on. OGN enters Force versus Genesis, right smack bang in the heart of Pachinki here on Erangel. K-Mine with an M16. I think he's going to find a different, better weapon than that.
Most likely, they're going to be looking for something a little different than that. You can see a few scars being picked up there, and we're getting our first circle heading up to the north. So the Sun Sisters, one of the Japanese teams, right in the dead center of all of that, and we move back over to the fight here in Pachinki.
Scarf and Earth, Scarf for Indigo, and he's probably the one to watch for here for Entis Force as one of the better players. But let's be real, as a team, as a collective unit, Entis Force, they are a force.
Pretty well balanced overall. Indigo, the slight leader in terms of average frags per round, but across the board, they're a very strong team, and they team fight very, very well. They like to work in twosomes. Ooh, Wicked's got the VSS here. Misa, can he hold it? No, it is the automatic spray with the VSS, and that's going to be our first kill of the game.
Yeah, first death, Misa from Crow Crowd. It's Wicked from Detonator. Will kick us off for day number 2, match 1. And for Detonator, that's the start you'd like to see. Every kill is going to matter. That's crucial. We saw it from yesterday. It can get pretty close towards match number 6. It comes down to 1, 2, 3, or 4 points. That's the difference.
And Detonator lives and dies by Wicked. If he can lead them well, if he can get some kills early on, get the team into good positions, he's going to be out there in a 1-3 split, typically leading the way, calling the shots for his team. Unfortunately for them, from time to time, he gets himself in bad situations, kind of like Pio. We see this with these 1-3 splits, where the leader is going to find themselves too far out ahead and they die, and then the rest of the team kind of struggles to get it together from there, but that's a nice little start for Detonator.
And Shadow as well, for Afrika Freaks, is a bit of a lone wolf at times as well, and the Koreans do like this sort of risk versus reward playstyle.
Yeah, Shadow you're going to find in the very back end of everything Afrika Freaks Fatal does. He's going to play the safest positions. He's going to have a sniper in his hands and try to cover them from long ranges. And he is often going to be the last man alive for them, just trying to eke out position points. Typically, Afrika Freaks Fatal has been a positioning team. They're looking to get points through those situations. They don't frag out a lot, but this past phase was their best fragging phase I have seen from them.
You can see it Ibiza on the minimap halfway here between Pachinki and School and Apartments for Team Liquid. They had a couple around Watertown, Ruins as well still with Sampty, but it's still Entis Force and Genesis inside of Pachinki, but it hasn't quite kicked off just yet.
Not just yet. It seems like the teams are kind of feeling each other out here. We've seen it be pretty explosive in the scrims, but Entis Force looks like they're opting to make an early exit from Pachinki, trying to get those vehicles and potentially get better positioning early on, make those earlier rotations.
As we've got Sosnovka Island down to the very south, that's where TSM are located at the moment, Paper, and they've got obviously the longest journey to go here for this first circle. Up north, it's a long way towards Severny at Petrol Station on Civil with a knockdown onto Easy.
Easy indeed is going to get taken down by Uncivil from Lazarus. This is an NA team I definitely have my eyes on. There's a lot of hype buzzing around about them, and an early kill will get the fire going underneath them.
And I wonder if this is going to be a tough game for QM. Most of the scrims they've been playing have been dropping in Rosshawk, and they decided game 1, they're going to change it now. So they haven't really been able to practice their rotations around this area, and straight away running straight into Lazarus, and it's not looking good.
Yeah, where they dropped, there's a couple garages where you can pretty likely pick up a vehicle, as well as a lot of spawns on the road, so it's not a terrible location in terms of getting vehicles. The downside to the drop they chose is that their loadout in terms of guns and utility won't be quite as good had they been able to take Razak, but they abandoned it. The Atletico conquered it.
Easy will be finished off by ZGG, though, of 4 AM. Nice kill still for them. So that'll be the point that matters. Of course, it's getting the elimination, not just the knock. Beer Chat for Sun Sister can be spotted by Cherry Poppin', and of course, Rumblers Any Rumblers in chat, because of course they're here. They're one of the, well, basically the last team to technically qualify.
Well, they're here. You got the chance. You got to make the most of it, and I'm excited to see what they can do. Dropping up on the north side, and they're getting a favorable circle to kick things off. So this is a team that can be dangerous, because when you have nothing to lose,
yeah,
you know, you playing on free money, you might as well just make the most of it. Go all out.
It's only 6 games as well. I think Froz was making the case yesterday for Rumblers. Like, at 6 games, you have a couple of decent ones. Really, you could even have a couple of bad ones and still make it through. We saw Tempo Storm yesterday actually finish last in 2 games. They picked up a really big win, and that was to sort of supersede the, you know, consistency. And in the end, they made it through, even though they had a couple of bad games. So Rumblers, I mean, I'd be keeping an eye on anyone on this lobby. Really, anyone could make top 8.
Yeah, we saw Na'Vi come back from a very disappointing start.
Slow start for Na'Vi as well.
Yeah, any team. It just takes a couple games. You get 1 win, and you basically are going to be really close to the points necessary. Most of the players I was talking to were saying around 30 points, and ooh, Wu Fang, a bit of an accident here for QM. So another unfortunate situation for them.
GYY is going to be picked up, though. They're safe. Liga's there as well. Genesis on the move. So in the end, really, the Pachinki that we were kind of expecting, the Pachinki Bowl, didn't even end up happening.
Nope, no Pachinki Bowl today. It was a bit anticlimactic. We thought we might get some.
Neither did Rozhok either, for that.
Yeah, Rozhok, I was a little excited for that. I thought that would be a real good fight. I didn't expect either of the teams to back down from the Rozhok fight.
Halo and Uncivil have got to be careful. The 4 men just pushed up. They haven't even realized that Halo's going to be knocked out immediately out of that dust here. Uncivil trying to find an angle, but all he's going to find is 4 angry men outside his doorstep as Wayless pushes up. It's actually Atletico with the high ground Overwatch vantage point of the petrol station. The nade from ZGG is going to be primed and thrown in. It's perfect, it's in, but it's not in the right room. Uncivil changes position, but really, Paper, I think it's a matter of time before he goes out. Headshot onto ZGG. Can he get anything more from this?
That was a great headshot, but Wayless comes around the corner. He is going to find Uncivil. A bit of a strange situation Lazarus found themselves in. 4 AM had to push onto that compound quickly because of the pressure from Atletico.
Lazarus were holding that 2-2 split. Now they're down to just 2 players. Not the start that really, for a lot of people, thought North America's hopes would be with coming into today.
Yeah, definitely Lazarus and QM. Lazarus had been playing well in the scrims, but that doesn't really mean much. A lot of times you're going to play well in scrims and it doesn't carry over into the games. The pressure is different. The feeling is different. James coming up on Juxi here.
Juxi hasn't shot yet. Not just yet. Oh, James has got it with the seat swap. Welcome introduction to the big stage for Juxi as he sat down by James and he takes the doubles for Team Liquid.
And how often have we seen the members of Liquid do this, where they're able to get kills from vehicles? They do it on their streams. Now they're doing it on the pro scene. Incredible play from James.
Sting Divine Esports. It's Nicky who watches him go inside of the building. That's decent information. They know the doubles is taken now. James, though, has got the location for Team Liquid. Atletico down to 3 players, and we're 30 seconds away from phase number 2.
Well, it looks like most of the teams have made their way in. Detonator swinging way around the northwest. Genesis came in near the containers of Pachinki and are kind of set up around that quad compound there. There's AFF on your screen coming up from the Milta Power area, making their way in. TSM's down on Potato Mountain. So right now, I don't expect too much more to pop off unless some of these teams try to position for that middle positioning a little bit more.
Talk us through what Detonator and AFF are doing here. They're coming in extremely late, even with the blue to a degree. As we get that circle pop, it's south. We go back towards Rozhok. A lot of teams over that Rozhok River, but AFF, Detonator, really slow with these rotations.
I think they saw how these teams wanted to position. The meta yesterday was very center circle centric. Everybody wanted to do that. So we heard from the analyst desk earlier that AFF wasn't even really trying to drop anywhere. They were just watching what other teams were doing to detect their movement patterns. Look where AFF is. They have a lot of room on the circle. Detonator would have had the circle stayed more north. There was nobody up there, but the circle hard shifts south, so it's going to be a much more difficult situation for them.
This is the live replay of James pulling in, and you'll see the seat swap onto Juxi. Now, it wasn't a silent pull in, but hey, still flashy, even through the tree. Really highlighting the skill level required there for James. Now, he did get knocked down. This is going to buy some time. Well, unfortunately for Team Liquid, buy some time. They're going to have 2 still remaining up north, as we're going to see over towards Skull. Wu Fang with a knockdown onto Lou from 4 AM as Forever pulls up. Maybe wants to try and get into the Skull
Yeah, China versus China situation here. Forever coming around the wall. Wu Feng's got that angle over there, but there's two other members up for him, and a great grenade from Wayless is going to get him. Godby getting things kicked off. He's got two names now. He's that good.
GYY getting pushed in as well over towards apartments as W Click. Atletico driving around the school area as well, south of Rostock, almost at the hill.
Yeah, this
Liga.
is Liga. Liga's trying to hold the angle. Wayless coming up the stairs now with ZGG as backup. Let's see if he can get this M4 to connect with a 2X.
There's no rush here, though, for QM, but down to just Liga and GYY. They haven't got the numbers compared to 4AM. 4AM playing this well, although they are also down to 3 themselves, losing a player.
Yeah, this is not the situation if you're a fan of the Chinese teams that you wanted to see, and Hikari has found himself knocked. I suspect there was a motorcycle floating around somewhere there. Usually when you see a player down out by himself in the middle of nowhere, there's typically a...
just zoom out a little bit and you'll see the motorbike somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Or a rolled vehicle potentially somewhere behind him. So looks like they should be able to get the res. We're in phase 2, so we should be able to get the heals off as well.
So nice aggressive start for 4AM here for match number 1. Obviously, we all know about their pick'ems. Number 1. I think it's about 55 to 60% of the votes, and well, they're pretty happy right now with the way things are looking for 4AM.
Yeah, 4 kills already, so that's 4 big points. A nice start to the day. Obviously, they'd like to clear this compound out, but you don't want to take any unnecessary risks. Not sure if they know exactly where the other members of QM are, and here's that accident. Right into the front left tire. Ouch.
He's probably wondering, GYY, why are you just jumping around like that? Like, come on.
Well, you got to be careful there. If you're the, I blame the driver.
You blame the driver?
I blame the driver.
You probably should blame the driver. We've got a couple of teams still late rotations into the blue. Rumblers at Shelter currently at the moment. Detonator still rotating. That's all they've done so far here for game number 1. 4AM slowly but surely clearing out school. I think Liga and GYY have played this pretty well, though. They're just holding their nerve, holding their angles.
Yeah, they have to. They're in the odd man situation.
Oh! Forever. So quick.
I was trying to talk about it, and then Forever just insta-downs GYY.
I mean, he picked that for like more than 1 second, and he was down. The nades aren't going to quite finish him off, but I think he bleeds out here. There's no way he's going to get the revive, and for QM, down to 1 player remaining. As we do get our phase 3 circle paper, it goes south again towards Pachinki.
Yeah, you can see W Click making an aggressive rotation into the center of that circle. So the Lat AM team trying to get some early position advantage for themselves. Now Lazarus has taken up some of the compounds on the eastern side of Pachinki, on the opposite side of the field. And here's Luke 12 from Lazarus, gonna get the knock onto Rybo, and Purdy Curdy's gonna finish off Ragnar.
Yeah, 2 for Lazarus. Silzen just has to keep going past north of Pachinki Fields. And Harold as well for W Click. They're down to 2 players remaining. Luke 12 and Purdy Curdy doing a decent job of holding their compound. 2 kills for Lazarus. Flood in the kill feed goes down to KL from OGN SS Force. And they're on the board now. They've got 1 as they got breached by Atletico.
Yeah, Entis Force hasn't really had to move too much. They've got a 2-2 split across the compounds in between School and Pachinki, and Atletico's trying to push in. In fact, they have breached. You can see Zoidmate and Extreme are here with Indigo and Kale, but Indigo's going to ramp up that buggy and back it up a little bit to make sure it's safe.
A lot of teams now starting to consider Pachinki as an option, especially if you go south. Genesis just holding church. AHQ have actually gone to the center of Pachinki. Indigo and KL are happy to hold this by themselves. Sungjiang and Doya at the other halfway house, just southwest. So they'll hold the 2-2 split for now, and it goes to show the nerve they've got here to just take this 2v2 and back themselves in and not call for reinforcements.
All right, Fatal's rolling up on the Potato Mountain with Sun Sisters up on top already. You can see Fia-chan coming up around the side here. Now the low ground has been seeded by the Sun Sisters. NN trying to jump up, see if he can see any members of Sun Sisters down there. You can see Gabba very weak already. He's flashing in that white health.
Yeah, Sun Sister though pushing more towards the blue here. They're getting really aggressive with this position, but it's a bad aggressive. They're down below. Afrika's got the high ground. Afrika's got the better position inside of the circle if they move more towards the west as well. So I'm not exactly sure what Sun Sister are trying to achieve here.
Yeah, they're trying to get some kind of flank, but Afrika Freaks Fatal already has the circle and the high ground. This is a really tricky situation for Sun Sister, going to really have to out-duel AFF, and the Rumblers looking to rumble.
Let's see if they're going to join this party. And who they're going to pinch would most likely be Sun Sister. They might get spotted by Afrika, though, who have got the high ground. Shadow holding at the rock, making sure they're not getting pushed from the blue, but it's not going to be coming from them. It's Fear Jam with some damage onto the Rumblers. Cherry Poppin'. Nice tap, triple tap from Cherry Poppin'. That'll sit them down, and Sun Sister down to 3. Now they're getting pushed as well by Afrika Freaks, and then knocked down. Style will get Crazy Sam, and it's all going horribly wrong for the Japanese team.
They're on the backside of the hill, a perfect position to get flanked on, and they are getting torn apart between the Rumblers and AFF, and that circle hard shifts southeast once again.
That phase 4 circle right onto the Pachinki field, right onto the warehouses. Gendetsu knocked down. There's 2 down as well for Fatal. It's only Lambo and Shadow that remain. Gamma with a nade is the last one alive for Sun Sister as well. Is it a great nade? Not quite, but it's forced. Shadow at the rock, pushes forward, is aggressive in a 1 versus 3 here. The last remaining player alive for his team. Not going for the revive. I don't think they have the time either. In 30 seconds, that blue moves. I think wants to try and finish off the rest of Afrika.
Yeah, and we're into phase 4 circle, so if you are downed outside of this, you cannot heal yourself up enough in time. There's a molly here. AFF getting really aggressive, and they are going to take down the Sun Sisters. They're the first team eliminated.
Gabba got the knockdown onto NN, but it's all that will be. Waldo gets the elimination onto Wicked. They had Detonator pushing in from behind them. Rumbler certainly a rumbling early here for game number 1. 2 early kills. Cherry Poppin' and Los HD. Detonator, of course, they're down to 3 now. Rumblers have got the advantage here, numbers-wise.
Yeah, it's going to... Ooh, but a nice shot from Hikari. It's going to get Micro Fry with that SLR. Great knock. Instantly, the smokes are coming down from Waldo. It's providing a little bit of cover fire here as well. There's another fight breaking out between Liquid and oh my goodness, there is a grenade from Jeems. I think it's just a smoke, though, to buy Jempty some time.
Sting Divine versus Liquid. Jempty hiding at the bottom of the triple. Oh, wow. Big day from Hikari in the kill feed. I'm sure we'll get the replay of that later. Jempty's going to be knocked down by Nikki. Ibiza holding out sides, tries to get some shots through the window. Unable to connect and unable to save Jempty. James are taken down as well. 2 immediately eliminated for Liquid. A Sting Divine are coming out ahead here pretty comfortably. They've still got 4 up.
A big fight here for Divine. The other SCA team that came through Armory Gaming had a miserable day yesterday, and they're looking to try to redeem their region a little bit, but that's a mistake there. It's like there might have been a mishap with a grenade. I saw Levi's is going to finish off his teammate Turtle, and back over to the fight between Rumblers and Detonator. You can see Waldo is knocked there. Grenade coming through from Sungjong is going to find Extreme.
And that's going to be Athletico taken out in 15th position. Not a good start for the other Australian team. It's not looking good for Liquid either, though. Sapti knocked down. Only Ibiza remaining and standing for Team Liquid. This would be a horrible start for them.
Yeah, definitely not what they're looking for. You can see Michael has spotted out Isco. Isco's head is available to be shot, but he's not going to pull the trigger, opting to get the position situation going for themselves instead. And here is Isco getting in that buggy, going to start moving up as the other members of TSM trying to regroup with Iroh down in the sushi houses.
TSM certainly have been the beneficiaries of these circles for game number 1. Warehouses at Pachinki Fields, they're sitting comfortable, but getting kills is going to be proving to be difficult, I think, for the remainder of this game, at least until the later stages, to the later phases. 25 seconds until phase number 5. Sempti goes down to the blue. Only Ibiza remains. He's pushing in near church area of Pachinki. He has been spotted as well by Genesis. I'm expecting to see him pop up in that kill feed, and for all the wrong reasons.
Ibiza trying to heal himself through this blue, see if he can find a sneaky way to get into the west side of Pachinki. Genesis has solidified themselves on the northern side, so it looks like if he has enough heals available, he should be able to at least get into the city, but the circle has shifted over to the east, and that means we've got about half field, half forest in there.
And I wonder, for Luke 12 and Purdy Curdy, of course, only 2 for Lazarus. If they might get breached by a group of 4, that could be their downfall, holding this decent position inside of the circle. But hey, what else are you going to do? They've got to defend their territory now that they've got here for these later stages. It's looking good now for Lazarus after a shaky start.
Yeah, Lazarus, I think, has one of the best, if not the best, position in this circle. They've lost 2 men. The good news is they have the great position and the defender's advantage for themselves.
So far, total rankings sits 4 AM, topping the charts with 5. There goes Ibiza. H-Wing will put an end to his misery. Only 1 point gained for game 1 for Team Liquid. Now, Lost HD with a nade towards Aqua 5. Oh, that's a perfect nade! Knocked down onto Aqua 5. Isco spotted as well at the tree. Lands the shot back, though, with the SLR in the 4 times. Last one standing for Detonator, and that blue is now moving as well towards him. I don't see Isco getting out of here alive.
No, this is really desperate here for Isco. All the angles are pretty well covered on him, shooting out the tires just to make sure he can't even use that buggy to retreat there. And that's a really awful situation. In fact, there they go. Rumblers are going to take down Detonator in 13th place.
What did we say about Rumblers? What did we say? They can cause an upset here, coming in as one of the last teams. Genesis push up just outside Pachinki. There's a great nade that's thrown towards him. It bounces, but doesn't quite bounce far enough. They're holding a decent spot away from their vehicles. Now they can move back to them, knowing that they've already exploded. Good position hold from Genesis. Now they can also catch teams coming outside of Pachinki. CC and SR for AHQ are trying to eliminate them before they push right on top of them. There's another smoke thrown right in front of SR's feet. There's 3 up for AHQ, but I think they're out of nades.
Wow, SR with an amazing push here. Coming up, he might just catch Genesis completely off guard. CC avoiding critical damage. He takes a bunch, but Genesis does find SR. They're going to finish him off. So a attempt at a sneaky play doesn't pay off. They're going to get Teme on the backside. So at least picking up 1 kill for AHQ.
It is a slaughter fest outside of Pachinki. Profi was knocked down. They'll get the revive. Crow Crowd are still trying to make their way out as well. They're going to lose Nookie. It's Tixu that all that remains now for Crow Crowd, as well as Milk for AHQ coming out of that Pachinki slaughterhouse. TSM have just been sitting pretty this entire time, and soon you'd think phases 6, 7, and 8, that's when they're going to start roaming, looking for kills, and to capitalize on this game as Tixu finds Milk. He'll get the first spray, he gets the second spray, but the blue will finish him off. Crow Crowd out in 10th, AHQ in 11th.
Hey, at least Tixu made some of it. A good shot with the barrel, catching the head of Milk, and that's going to be those 2 teams eliminated as our next circle is getting ready to show itself in about 5 seconds here. Entis Force, Kale has been knocked, but it looks like they should be able to potentially get the revive on him, and we're just going to center right up, and Lazarus continues to have that great compound, but will somebody try to push it?
9 teams, 24 alive at the 22-minute mark of game number 1 for day 2. Group 2, Harold last one alive, W Click. 19 health has forced back. Actually forced towards Levi's of Sting Divine, who's still alive as well. We've got a couple of really injured teams here still in this with some solo players. QM, W Click, Sting Divine, all with solo players. Purdy Curdy knocked down by Gustav. Now TSM need to start moving and gaining control of this next phase now for phase 6.
Yeah, that's a real unfortunate situation for Lazarus, taking that headshot. See if they can get the revive there on Purdy Curdy. Levi's playing the sneaky snake as Genesis trying to hunt down Harold. H-Win almost able to get a shot in there with that SKS, but going inside the bunker hill is Harold for W Quick, and here's Levi's. He pops up, he gets nerf in the head, has to immediately prone back down, isn't able to get a knock, and he's going to be taken down himself.
Goes down in a blaze of glory, but unable to find a knock and do any damage to Genesis. H-Win eliminates Levi's. Now the bubble. We've got 8 teams remaining. Nice nade from KO. That'll finish off Harold. And instantly down to 7 from 9. It's still 22 alive as K-Mine spots him to go with the rock. Now Genesis can actually feed on Entis Force here. They're stuck. They're up the north side with the blue at the backs, and they need to push up this hill. It's dangerous. They've got 4 AM looking at them, and on the other side, it's Genesis. Yeah,
this is a real do-or-die situation for Entis Force. They're completely getting torn apart. H-Win gets Sungjung. Forever gets Indigo. So 2 members already knocked here. Forever trying to confirm. He does get Sungjung. Doya's trying to hold down the angle to give Kale a little bit of time. Kale is very weak. Doya taking some return fire from Genesis. Going to try to cook a grenade. Ooh, Profi gets taken down and flushed by Kale. A nice move by him, but he's going to pay the price for it.
Yeah, H-Win's going to get the trade. Doya, though, with the trade back onto H-Win, so it's pretty even so far. Although OG and Entis Force down to just Doya remaining. It's 2 standing for Genesis. K-Mind and Nerf. They go for the revive onto H-Win to try and take 3 into these further phases. They're going to need as many players as they can alive, because the teams that are alive, TSM's got 4, Afrika's got 4. There goes Liga, finished off in 7th position for QM. Doya doing everything he can. He has to reload. Nerf is very, very low. H-Win still not revived either, but no nade. The nade would have been perfect here. Wants to try and floss H-Win. It's Nhen who stalls the kill for Afrika Freaks.
Oh, Dulia is going to get K-Mine. Can he outduel Nerf as well? No! It is going to be Shadow from Afrika Freaks Fatal that finds him. While all this is going on, Afrika Freaks Fatal 4 strong, rolling up the northeastern side and is cleaning up what is left of this fight.
Yeah, Genesis are going to go out here. It's Lambu who finishes off Nerf. Afrika Freaks Fatal are certainly cleaning up here in terms of kills. TSM on a donut.
TSM, though, had a great position covering a ton of ground here. They do have a little bit of circle for themselves. And Lazarus, the circle continues to go on top of them. Can they hold this out? They do have a knock under their belt. So if Purdy Curdy gets hit again, he's going to go down a lot faster. Red's coming through, but a Freak of Freaks Fatal does not want to let that make any difference. 4 AM going down in 4th place.
12 kills already for a Freaka Freaks Fatal. Lazarus with only 2 kills, but you kind of give them a reprieve. They were down to 2 players for the majority of this game. For TSM, though, 0 kills. I understand the wariness of holding the position and getting fed. You're not going to find the kills. But at some point, you've got to come out and play, and I just don't think they've done that early enough. Now they could actually find themselves in a position where they could actually go out here with 0 kills.
All right, a big fight going out. Rory gets the first knock onto Lambu, and Purdy Curdy spots NN out as well. NN, I think, is taking some damage. Yes, indeed, from Rory. So a great position here from Rory behind these rocks. He has found a great angle onto AFF.
They are going to be well equipped here in terms of nades and smoke grenades as well, because TSM have not been fighting here. So they should be well equipped to finish off this game. They've just got to start getting these knocks, and you saw that from Rory. Was able to pick up 2. Style trying to move down the hill. I think they want to try and get to Lazarus's building. Gustav as well probably wants to do the exact same thing. Nade thrown in, and it's not going to be enough time for Purdy Curdy to realize that Luke 12 remains. Half health, not a nade thrown in. Never mind, bounces off the front doorstep. As Gustav continues to pepper. And as I mentioned, they've got the utility here. Luke 12 hides and holds on for now.
Exactly correct. TSM now has the win condition. Purdy Curdy is going to be flushed out by Gustav, so it is going to be 1 member standing for Lazarus, 2 here for AFF. Gustav trying to spray in there to get Luke 12, but Luke 12 safely behind the wall for now. Rory trying to get in there, using the shots from Gustav to be able to position himself a little bit so Luke 12 won't get the information on where he is. That grenade does catch a little bit of Luke 12, does a bit of damage. Now Rory's cooking another one.
Really smart from Luke 12, moving from room to room, but unfortunately too many nades to deal with and not enough rooms. Rory will finish off Luke 12. Lazarus in 3rd. TSM now to finish off Style. It's 1v4 territory. Style spotted immediately, though. The shots already continue to land. This will be a TSM win for game number 1. 6 kills.